Welcome to Pakistan, the only nuclear nation where nuclear weapons are less about deterrence and more about protecting terrorism. A nation where national security debates unfold with the credibility of a viral TikTok live. Let's rewind to 1971. Pakistan, thinking it could settle scores with India, launched Operation Searchlight in East Pakistan. Spoiler alert, it didn't go well. At all. By the end of it, Pakistan didn't just lose a war, it lost half its country. Bangladesh was born, and Pakistan celebrated, with silence, denial, and 93,000 soldiers in Indian custody. Legendary strategy, right? After humiliating defeats on the battlefield, Pakistan had a moment of clarity. And by clarity, we mean they realized they couldn't beat India in a real war, so they switched to Plan B, terrorism, and to the charmingly sinister doctrine, bleeding India through 1,000 cuts. Not a military strategy, more like a long-term tantrum involving cross-border terrorism, fake deniability, and international finger-pointing. Because if you can't win a war, just train proxies, deny involvement, and hope no one notices a launch pad right across the LOC. Genius, isn't it? Another day, another cowardly attack in Pahalgam. Pakistan's obsession with bleeding India continues, though at this point, it's more of a paper cut to India and a full-blown credibility hemorrhage for Pakistan. Cue the nuclear saber rattling. Anytime India gets serious about punishing terror, a Pakistani minister shows up on TV, eyes wide, veins popping, shouting, "We have nuclear weapons." It's like clockwork. India talks counterterrorism, Pakistan talks Armageddon. Because nothing screams mature state like threatening global annihilation over being held accountable. After the Pahalgam attack, instead of cracking down on terror camps, Pakistan's strategic response? Dusting off their favorite phrase. Don't forget we're nuclear power. As if that's a get-out-of-jail-free card for exporting violence. For every Pahalgam, there's a payback. And on May 7th, India didn't start a war. It ended the illusion that Pakistan could keep exporting terror without consequence. Gone are the days when Pakistan could play victim while breeding violence. May 7th was India's way of saying, "We see you, we know, and we're done waiting." Nothing screams we're not sponsoring terrorism quite like military officials and ISI agents showing up at terrorist funerals. Classic denial, right? Coffins of militants wrapped in the national flag, treated like martyrs, not murderers. And they still ask why no one takes their denial seriously. Imagine training a terrorist, denying he existed, and then giving him a state funeral. Pakistan's military seems to have mastered the art of doublethink. India takes out terror launch pads with precision. Pakistan's response? Shell a school, attack a temple, or target a civilian village. Because bravery clearly isn't part of their defense doctrine. Pakistan keeps reminding the world it's a nuclear power, but behaves like a rogue militia that uses civilians as soft targets when its pride takes a hit. While other nations invest in high-tech defense and AI warfare, Pakistan's backup plan is teenagers from religious seminaries. A new era of defense, straight out of the 12th century. This wasn't a secret. It wasn't a leak. It was said with a straight face in Parliament, as if turning students into cannon fodder is a perfectly acceptable defense policy. In Pakistan's playbook, children with books are a threat. Children with guns? A national asset. That's not defense. It's desperation dressed up as doctrine.
You do admit, sir, that Pakistan has had a long history of backing and supporting and training and funding these terrorist organizations.
Well, we have been doing this dirty work for the United States for about 3 decades, and West, including Britain.
So that's your clear about this.
Pakistan claims it shot down 5 Indian Air Force jets and a drone, as I understand it. India says there's no evidence of that, no proof. So can you provide
They've
more
admitted
detail?
that
Hold on. Can you provide more detail? And is this the response that your army spokesman threatened, or is there further action to come? Let's start with this very specific allegation of 5 fighter jets shot down. Where's the evidence for that, sir?
It's all over the social media, on Indian social media, not on our social media. The debris of these jets fell into the Medina of Kashmir, and it's all over Indian media today. And they have admitted, their media has.
The reason to talk to you today, sir, is not to talk about content all over social media. I'm sorry. It's not to talk about content all over social media. I'm asking you very specific.
Pakistan's lies collapsed faster than their Foreign Office press release. Satellite images don't lie. Neither do fireballs on infrared. India's strike didn't just hit terror camps. It hit the crumbling wall of plausible deniability Pakistan's been hiding behind for decades. And this time, there's no fog of war, just smoke from their own backyard. India went to the world with facts. Pakistan went to Twitter with hashtags. You heard right. India neutralizes a militant, and Pakistan hands 14 crores to a UN-designated terrorist. Apparently, in Pakistan, terrorists are compensated better than normal civilians. While India counts how many terrorists it's eliminated, Pakistan counts how much to pay their families. Because nothing says we don't support terror like performance-based incentives to jihad. Pakistan sponsors a terror attack. India hits back that too with precision. And the UN? It shows up right on cue, asking both sides to show restraint. Because apparently, self-defense and terrorism are now morally equivalent. The UN's logic is flawless. One country exports jihad, the other launched satellites. But sure, let's treat them like they're on the same level and call for mutual de-escalation. When a state shelters terrorists, threatens nuclear war at every turn, and rewards extremism instead of reform, the world isn't just dealing with a diplomatic issue. It's facing a global security risk. A nuclear arsenal in the hands of a state flirting with fanaticism isn't deterrence, it's danger. The only choice world have is a disarmament and disintegration of Pakistan.